Welcome to Celtic, Kasper Schmeichel, the former Leicester City #1. He's won a Premier League title, he's won an FA Cup, he won a Community Shield, plus countless world-class performances, even on a European level and in the Premier League, which is seen as the best of them all. He reunites with former manager Brendan Rodgers, who won that FA Cup with. Welcome to Celtic, Kasper. We look forward to having him. And if anyone's seen any sort of negativity around this transfer, it's not aimed at the player. Let's get that out of the way at the beginning of this video. It's not aimed at Kasper, it's more aimed towards the recruitment. You know, Joe Hart announced he was going to retire back in February, so he gave us a big heads up going into the end of the season, into this window, and we've ended up with a keeper who's going to retire in a year or two is what we're expecting, going by the contract that Fabrizio told us about, which is going to be a 1 year with a club option to extend for a further year if we want. So that probably tells us how long he's probably expecting to be in football, probably retiring at 40, we would guess. And that leaves us to believe that we might be here in a year, maybe two at best, in the same position. Whereas if we went for a younger keeper, which was the fans' expectation, we thought we were going to go for a young keeper, and that was the reason why Joe gave us the big heads up to not be around. We'd go from experienced to more young and promising to sell on like the rest of the outfield players. And now we've ended up with a keeper who's the same age as Joe, about to be 38 come the end of the year. So that's where any sort of annoyance around the transfer comes. Nothing about the player. He's probably maybe better than what Joe Hart is, maybe about the same. I'd expect him to be a slightly better goalkeeper, even though he's the same age. I'd expect, just because he's world class more recently than what Joe Hart was for City. You know, Leicester isn't too long ago in his career. So yeah, that's not out of the way, you know, that's the reason. It's more aimed at the board and the recruitment rather than the player. However, talking about the player, let's go on to what he's done recently. Playing at the Euros, 4 appearances, 1 clean sheet. The season, obviously going into the Euros, 32 appearances for Anderlecht. He made 46 the season prior for Nice, and he played 53 for Leicester the season before that. So it's 3 different clubs the last 3 seasons, and it was a 4th in 4 years. So he doesn't stay around too often, it seemed, even though he was at Leicester for ages. Recently he's been club hopping around. Last season in the league, as stats from, he was expected to concede 45 times. He only conceded 31, so that's a decent enough stat. He had 80% save percentage when he faced 149 shots. That seems quite a decent number to have, especially when you're looking at Joe Hart, who had a 69% save percentage. However, he faced only the 91 shots. He was expected to concede 29 in the league. He only conceded 28, Joe Hart. So Joe Hart's expected to actual was very close, whereas Kasper's expected goals is a lot higher than what he actually conceded, which is a positive. However, goalkeeper stats aren't really everything. It's probably the worst position to look at stats. However, that's probably the one stat I actually do like to look at. The next one, passing. That's not everything, you know, because these aren't too far apart of what I'm showing you now. You know, Joe Hart, he had a higher pass accuracy, and you know, you probably would have thought Joe Hart's wasn't that great. Yeah, he played the odd pass, but was a lot of heart attack moments, should they say, and his long ball passing is worse than Kasper. So it's not too big a jump. However, it's not great seeing that Kasper is lower on the pass accuracy, at least when it comes to short passing. However, his accurate long balls is certainly interesting to see and offers maybe something a little different if we were to play an Ida, if he is to sign, which we're hoping so, as he's left out the Norwich squad at the time of recording, and Paulo Bernardo is apparently not too far away from potentially signing for 3.5 million plus add-ons, as he's also left out the Benfica squad today. So yeah, that's the way it looks. It looks like we're making it 3 transfers very quickly, not too long behind each other this summer. Hopefully another striker if O's going, another winger maybe, and then definitely a left-sided centre-back, and then a left-back if we're not pushing it. That's how it's looking, but Kasper does look like he will be potentially an upgrade on Joe Hart. It's just how long will we have him. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your opinions down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.